everyone, welcome to the next episode of Femboy Arcades. Today I wanted to talk about Japanese rhythm games because I don't think a lot of people in the United States or Europe really even know about them. A lot of people around the world, including myself, had no idea that Japanese rhythm games were so popular that they were still all over in arcades across the country. If you go to Japan and you go to a Japanese arcade, there will be tons of rhythm games to play, a variety of them, and many of them have online support and competitions between each other, like tournaments. It's really cool, and what's even cooler is that some of these games are making their way to the US and Europe. So if you know where to look, you can play some of these games. So I wanted to go out and show you guys these games. Maybe you guys will go out as well and try and find some of them to play. I'm planning on making this a multi-part series if you guys are interested, where I go around and play every rhythm game in my area. That being said, for my first episode, I went to an arcade that didn't have a lot of the games I was good at. I just played some of the ones I was new to because I thought it'd be interesting. So if I'm not good, I'm sorry. You can probably find some more interesting gameplay online, but I just wanted to introduce you to it. So I'm headed out to this arcade now, but before I do that, I gotta do dress up. Since I would be going out at night, I decided to dress warm, and my first thought for dressing warm was this green turtleneck sweater that I got at Macy's. It's really comfortable, really cozy, and I keep saying cozy. It's really cozy. I love how it feels, and I decided to go with the cloud skirt as well. The cloud skirt kind of works with it, and it's a longer skirt, so it will keep out the cold a little bit better. And then I decided I had to figure out what socks to wear. I thought about maybe doing mismatched socks. Sometimes it looks really good and kind of adds a quirkiness to the outfit. But since my outfit was a little simpler this time, I decided to go simple and just have some purple socks. Here's me changing into the sweater, and you can tell I really love wearing this thing. I just love the way it feels on me. It's really cozy. And at this point I'm putting on purple socks because I kind of want to emulate the rainbow in a way. Green, blue, and purple are all together on the rainbow, and I find that colors that are together on the rainbow work really well in succession, such as yellow, green, blue, or red, orange, yellow. Any comparison like that works really well. Finally, I have this Eevee purse from Hot Topic, which was in my last video. This time it actually works out pretty well with what I'm wearing. The strap is a little bit messy, but I fixed that later on. And finally, here are some gamer gloves. These gloves are from Daiso, just very simple cloth gloves. I wear these whenever I am playing rhythm games with a touchscreen or a touchpad. They reduce friction so I can move a lot faster, and also they provide some cushioning to my hand so it doesn't hurt so much. Overall, I really like how the outfit turned out. Now it's time to go play some games. Some of the most exciting arcade cabinets are the Japanese rhythm games. It's so cool to see modern arcade cabinets that don't conform to the American arcade culture. And sure, they all have the same basics, hit the note at the target line, but they're so different from machine to machine. They're not stingy with the credits, and you can also save your player data and customize the game to your liking. I use this Japanese game card to record my progress. It's called an IC amusement card, and most Japanese games take it. You just scan it where it says to, and you're good. And like I said earlier, I sometimes wear gloves to reduce friction on any games that involve touchscreens. And with these two items, I'm ready to play some games. So first up is Music Diver by Taito. It's a drumstick game with 4 center and 4 side targets. The center targets appear on a touchscreen and the side targets are on the rim. You got 2 drumsticks, use them to hit the notes at the right time, and you're golden. These kinds of rhythm games have a lot of customization options. For instance, Music Diver lets you change the sound of the melody and the beat of the song that you're playing. But I'm going to be honest, some of these are really weird. The game itself is pretty fun, but I wasn't really a fan of how drastically the melody and the beat options changed the song. I'd rather just hear the song normally as it is. Anyway, the first couple of games went really well, so I decided to up the ante a little bit. Big mistake, but overall fun game, and I do recommend it. Now let's move on to another Taito game that I really was not looking forward to. Taito Connect. This is probably the most parasocial arcade game I've ever played in my entire life because it revolves so heavily around a waifu, and like, the game doesn't even really work without the waifu. I mean, it gets weird though. There are privacy curtains. You can give them your birthday so that your wife can wish you a happy birthday when you play. Okay, anyway, I signed in and I forgot that the first time I ever played this game, I chose the saddest looking character possible. She doesn't even have a body, but I mean, that's okay, because I can dress her up. You know, like, why not? After all, you couldn't have a waifu game without being able to dress up your waifu in bunny ears, or a collar, or a cattail, you know, the essentials. Okay, I've been talking too much about the waifu stuff. I'd better just explain why it is the way it is. This game is kind of like OS, where you tap the notes on the screen at the right time. Except this time it's with your hands, and basically whatever actions you make with your hands are supposed to mimic the actions that your waifu is making on the screen. It's essentially a game of patty cake with your non-existent heartthrob, which, I'll be honest, is still kind of weird and awkward and parasocial and all that. I got more into it than I should have. Yeah, look at that body movement. That is not me playing it up for the camera. That is genuinely me having fun, so yeah, I'll concede it's a fun game, but I'm never gonna feel good about playing this.
I really hate that I started to like it again.
Alright, time to move on to something a little more conventional with Guitadora from Konami. This is basically Japanese Rock Band. If you've played Rock Band or Guitar Hero, you get the gist of this. There are some differences though. The drum kit is a lot cooler, the bass has 5 notes, the cabinets are a bit more imposing, and the soundtrack is primarily for Japanese audiences. Now, I decided to start with the drums because I'm actually trying to learn drums in real life. I don't have a proper drum set though, so it helps to have something like this around so I can learn how it feels to play a real set. I came in pretty hopeful that my budding drum skills would show in this game. They did not. So yeah, I don't look bad right now, but that's mainly because I've set it to essentially the easiest difficulty because I was having too much trouble. The problem is, I'm not used to the setup. I haven't yet memorized which colors coordinate to which drums, and you can tell it's kind of a problem sometimes, especially when the red drum and the orange drum are right next to each other. That just trips me up when the red or orange note appear on the screen. I do hope to get better at this game. I think it's really fun, but I've got a lot to learn, so I just gotta keep coming back to the game and trying my best. Now moving on, here's the guitar Guitadora. Have I still retained any Guitar Hero or Rock Band experience from my childhood, and will that help me? No. This was rough. This was rougher than I anticipated. I felt more accomplished spinning on the swivel chair than I did playing this game. And these were songs I actually listened to. Like, this is a song by Hizaki. I'm actually a huge fan of Hizaki. I love his work, but I couldn't get the hang of the guitar for whatever reason. I can't hit the target line and I'm not sure why. And the guitar isn't that much different from the Guitar Hero stuff, so I don't understand what's going on. I started to get the hang of it by the end, but in retrospect, I think I was missing some note that I was supposed to hit, and I didn't realize. I'm not what is this? Somebody please tell me. Okay, let's finish it off on a high note. Groove Coaster from Taito. This is one of the most fun rhythm games to play, in my opinion. And it's got a great song selection, quite a few classics I'm familiar with, and also a lot of Undertale. The model that I'm playing is so old that I actually needed a different arcade card to save my data on this. So Groove Coaster has a line that you follow with notes on it, hence the word coaster, and there's some notes on it that you hit at the right time with either of the buttons. They're sort of buttons. Think of them more like giant thumbsticks on a controller that you can press down on. There are different kinds of notes. There are hold notes where you hold down, click notes where you move the button in a certain direction. There are wavy notes where you move the button from side to side. Sometimes you have to hit the same note with both buttons. It's varied, but it's never overbearing. Admittedly, the maps are really hard to follow a lot of the time, but I really like the Tempest-like vector aesthetic that they go for. It could just be the aesthetic or the song selection, but I really love this game. It's also on mobile if you guys want to check that out, though I don't know how good that is, I've never played it before. So that was my trip to the arcade. If you're interested in Japanese rhythm games, I suggest you give them a shot. They can be admittedly hard to find, but the easiest place to locate them is at a chain called Round 1. You can also look up these games on this website to find locations near you. I'll certainly come back and cover more rhythm games in the future, but until then, I hope you all have a great time at the arcade!